Have you ever wondered how you might be able to make a difference with all that's going on in the world, from wars to violence to hunger? Is there anything you could possibly do to make a difference? I used to tell people all you can really do is pray for matters like this, but there's actually something you can do that's a lot more effective, and it starts within your own heart, your local community, and then spreads to the world. So if these are some things you've hoped for, I hope you'll stay tuned. Children are so helpful for giving me a positive outlook on the world. Perhaps this is a great place to start with just your attitude and your scope and your lens of the world. Yes, there are bad, corrupt things that happen in this world, but there's so much good, so much beauty, so much wonder that's happening. I get so inspired by my own children and others' children who hopefully have not encountered the evils of this world, and their innocence, their purity, their perspective of the world is a great way to start, to just help you be a change agent wherever you are, so that can spread to other communities. I think Jesus also gives us another helpful parable regarding how we can make a difference in the world, how we can change things to impact the world and make it a better place. He talks about in Matthew chapter 7, verse 3, he says, don't worry about the speck of wood in your brother or sister's eyes when you have a plank in your own. Uh, what a hilarious and sadly hypocritical image if you think about that picture. Jesus may have been a carpenter. His father was, and so it's believed that maybe he went into the industry as well. And this was long before the day and age of workers' compensation. But I can imagine him seeing an injury and then someone saying in the carpenter's workshop, you got a speck of wood in your eye. And then someone has a huge, the word here actually can be translated as beam, something that supports a home, a piece of wood in your own eye. It's just a crazy image. And I think he's telling us first what we need to do is look at ourselves. How can you improve? How can you be a change agent for the world, but starting with yourself? A few things that I like to do is just have my blind spots up. My son's taking driver's ed. I've told him to pay very close attention because I've been in 3 accidents. It's been over 20 years now, but I'm constantly checking for blind spots, areas that I'm weak. What areas are you weak at? That God will want you to look at yourself, look in the mirror, and say, you can change the world by starting to change yourself. Um, there's just so many different areas in my life that I've had to improve in. Before I got into ministry, I was a businessman, and I got kind of greedy. Now, 95% of the work that I did was clean, good business, but some things I did at times because of greed was unethical, and I had to repent for that. So that was one of the areas that I needed to check my blind spot. I needed to make sure that I was the best version of myself so I could pay it forward, as the Kevin Spacey movie slogan. Um, that being said, so we've got two things here, right? Have a positive view of the world. Yes, there's evil. Yes, there's violence, but there's so much good. There's so much beauty. Then secondly, do the work on yourself. Do some spiritual self-care. Do some work to make yourself a better person. And then lastly, Jesus closes this parable by saying, after you've taken care of that beam, then you can help your brother and the splinter that's in his eye, or the sawdust in his or her eye. And so I want to just leave you with a story about my uncle. My uncle is a geriatric doctor in Greensboro, North Carolina. He's just a wonderful man. Plenty on his plate, though. He has 4 daughters, owns his practice. And one time I was over at his house and I was about to throw a can away, or some beverage can that could be recycled. But I put it in the trash can. And he just asked me if I wouldn't mind putting it in the recycle bin. And I just noticed from his general posture that it was something important to him. With everything he had going on, I thought my life was busy. Can you imagine what his life was? And now, this is 12 years later, I'm the recycle king at my house. I had a friend come over one time, and they threw some recyclable material away in the trash can. And I said, would you mind putting that in the recycle bin? He actually said that he thought it was a lost cause. It doesn't matter And I think that is part of the attitude we talked about, that if you can do the hard work, if you can reflect on yourself, but look at the world in a more positive way, little by little, we can all make a difference. Um, there's a lot of reasons why people might not want to recycle. There's a huge trash island in the Pacific Ocean, which is very sad. But why contribute to that? Now, if you can take a little example like recycling, which could have a big impact, and start doing that with your own neighborhood, your own community, it could spread throughout the world. And so it's my prayer that you might take some of these small lessons here and apply them to your own life, apply them to your family, to your friends, to your workplace, so that we might make a difference within the world. My name is Ian Bailey. God bless you. If you'd like to support our ministry, we have some ongoing missions, and we'll leave some support links up if you'd like to be a part of that mission as well. Otherwise, we'll take your prayer. Thank you for your viewership, and I hope to see you very soon. God bless.